let's recall what are verbs. The words which says something about the action of subject are called verbs. So my dear children, if any word tells about the action done by the subject, then that is known as verb. Or in simple language, we can also say that all doing words are known as verb. For example, that girl is dancing. So what that girl is doing? She is dancing. Dance is the work done by that girl. If I say that frog is hopping. So what that frog is doing? Hopping. Okay. And my dear children, on that day I have also told you that there are two types of verb. So what are they? First one is your action verb and the second one is your linking verb. So what are action verb? Action verb shows some movement done by the subject. So whenever any action has been done by the subject, that is known as your action verb. For example, if I say that Ram is jumping. So what action Ram is doing? Ram is jumping. So jumping, some movement has been shown now. So that is known as your action verb. If I say that old man is walking on the road. So what that old man is doing? He is walking. So here walking is your action verb. Okay. And my dear children, it is not at all necessary that if any subject it is showing the movement, then only it will be called it as verb. It is when sometimes it happens that it doesn't show any action. Suppose if I say that I imagine the wonderful sight. I imagine, when I imagine a wonderful sight. So in that I haven't showed the movement. I haven't showed the movement. Okay. I have just imagined. My mind is here only. So although it is not showing any movement, then also some work has been done by me. It is also known as your action verb. If I say I watched the television. So here what work I have done? I have watched the television. I am watching the TV. So I have done some work. I have watched the TV. So this watching is also your verb, or we can say action verb. Okay. Now let's talk about the linking verbs. So what are linking verbs? Linking verb link the subject to the noun or to the adjective. When any word link the subject to the noun or an adjective, then that is known as your linking verb. For example, if I say Rohit is playing in the ground. So here what is linking verb? Playing is your main verb, or we can say action verb, and is your linking verb because it is linking you with the noun or adjective. Okay. So if I say that she became an artist. So here this became will be your linking verb because here became is linking the she and the artist. So here this became will be your linking verb. So in the same way, my dear children, there are many tremendous linking verb: is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, became. Although these all are your linking verbs. So I hope you all must have recalled all the three forms of the verb. In present tense, past tense and future tense, your verb used to get changed. So I hope you all must have studied well. Now today we will start with a new topic. So let's get started. My dear students, now let's start our new topic today. Today we are going to study about the subject and verb agreement. So what is subject and agreement? My dear children, let me tell you that The subject is a very important part in the sentence. Without subject, any sentence will be incomplete. So it's a very important part and it is used before the verb. Wherever verb is there, so before that subject used to be there. Okay, so there is agreement between some rules and regulations are there between the subject and the verb. So let's have a study about it. Now, the first rule is that in subject and verb agreement, first rule is your singular subject take a singular verb. That means, my dear children, that whenever we are talking about one subject, okay, whenever subject is only one, at that time we will use singular verb, okay, and while plural subject take a plural verb. It means, my dear children, whenever our subject are two or more than two, it means whenever we are talking about any person, place, animal or thing which is two or more than two, then at that time, my dear children, we will use plural verb. Okay, let me explain you this with the help of an example. You can see over here that he flies a kite. So here in the sentence, what you are seeing that he flies a kite. So in this, you are seeing that he is your single person. It is singular. Okay, and here the verb which is used, flies. Here this flies is also singular. So what we have learned that for singular subject we will use singular verb. So here he flies. Okay, it is also singular and he is also singular. Similarly, in the second case, what is there? She plays with her doll. So here she is single subject, only one she is, and here plays. The verb which is used over here, plays is a verb and plays is also a singular verb. So singular subject, singular verb is used. Okay. Now see the third word in this one. They tell me stories. They tell me stories. So here they is your plural subject. Many persons are there. So we have used they. And this tell is your verb. So we can see that plural verb is used. Tell is plural verb. They tell me stories. Okay. Now in this, again you can see we. We are two persons or more than two persons. So here with this plural subject, plural verb is used. That is your are is your linking verb. So we can see that are is plural verb. So my dear student, this one is clear that for singular subject, singular verb will be used, and for the plural subject, plural verb will be. Students, look at the following rules. Two singular subject joined by or need a singular verb. That means, my dear children, if we are talking about two singular subject and it is joined by or, then in that case singular verb is used. For example, see the first one, he or she. He and she are two singular subject now. So with he or she we will use singular verb, that is has participated in the games, right? Second one is your Rashmi or Shubham. Again you can see two singular subjects are there and it is they are joined by or. So in this case also we will use singular verb has become the monitor of the class, right? Second rule is two singular subject joined by either or neither or nor required a singular verb. If we are talking about two singular subject, for example, you can see example 1 in the second one, that either Sanjay or his brother. So you are seeing that either Sanjay, we have used either or. And Sanjay and his brother, they both are singular subject. So in this case also we will use singular verb, that is not in the bus, right? Neither Pushpa nor Preeti is responsible for his mistake. Again, these are joined by neither and nor, and in that case also we will use singular verb, that is. Now coming towards the next rule, if a singular subject is joined with the plural subject by O, put the plural subject at the second place and use the plural verb. So my dear students, if one subject it is joined with the plural subject, for example you can see in the first one, the cat is singular subject and it is joined by or dogs. We are talking about many dogs. So if the one is singular and the another subject is plural, then we will use have. Okay, that means we will use plural verb. So it will become the cat or dogs have scattered these things here, right? Now see the second one, Simran or his brothers. Simran is singular, it is joined by or her brothers. We are talking about many brothers. So we will use plural verb, that is are. Simran or her brother are not going to play today. Okay. Now see the next rule. If a singular subject and a plural subject are joined by either or neither or nor, put the plural subject at the second place and use the plural verb. In this case also beta, if one singular subject is there and another is plural subject and it is joined by either or neither or nor, then in this case also the verb which we will use will be your plural verb. Okay, see the first example, either Nana or her friends have helped the girl. So here Nana is single, her friends are plural, so we will use plural verb, that is have. Okay, see the second one, neither John nor his parents are willing to shift anywhere else. John is one, his parents are plural, so one singular subject and the another one is plural subject. So in this case also we will use are, that is the plural verb. Okay, now see the last one. If I is joined with a singular subject by either or neither or nor, put it in the second place and use the verb according to I. That means we always use with the I, we always use I am or I was. So we will use singular. Okay, for example you can see the first one, neither he nor I am a delight, either he or I was befooled. So in this case my dear children, when it is ending with the, it is coming, one is singular and it is starting with a neither or nor, then in that case if it is I, it is coming, so we will use I am or I was. Okay, now see the next rule. When two or more subjects are connected with and, use a plural verb. So whenever we are talking about more than two subjects, then in that case and it is joined with and, then we will use plural verb. For example, if I say Rana and Sachin were already in the playground. Two persons are there and they are joined with and, so we will use were, plural verb. Okay, were is plural. Priya, Payal and Priyanka are good students. We will use plural verb in this case. Now last one is your pronouns such as everyone, each, anyone, everybody, anybody, someone, somebody, are these all are your singular and need singular verb. My dear students, don't think that if we are saying everyone, that means although we are saying to everyone, but it is individually we are saying. Everyone means we are talking about each and every member of the class. Okay, so these are singular and you will use singular verb in this. Like for example, you will say each of the boys has played well. Each. We are talking about every boy. So we will use has verb. Okay, singular verb. Then in the second case, someone has stolen my watch. No name has been mentioned. It has been said that someone. Someone can be anyone. Okay? So someone has. We will use singular verb in this case also. My dear students, I hope so that you all must have understood the subject and verb agreement. So let's do one exercise to know it better. So in the first sentence, what you are seeing that he dashed to school daily. Go or goes. So what we have learned in our subject and verb agreement that if one subject is there, then we will use one verb only. So in this, he is one subject only. So with one, what will come? Goes. So what will be the answer? He goes to school daily. Okay. Now see the second one. They dash not my friends. They. That means we are talking about the plural subject. Many person are there. So this time we will use are or is. Are is plural verb and is singular. So they is plural. So we will use plural verb also. So here what will come? They are. They are not my friends. Okay. Now third one is your he or she dash done it. Again you are seeing that he is singular. So we will use singular verb over here. That is has or have. So has is singular verb and have is your plural. So what we will use? Has. He or she has done it. Okay. Now see here Neha and her friends. Here what you are seeing that Neha and her friends. That means many friends are there. We are talking about the plural subject. So we will use plural verb over here. Dash not in the classroom. Neha and her friends are not in the classroom. So my dear students, in all this you have seen that for one subject, one verb will be used. For the plural subject, plural verb will be used. My dear students, before action verb and linking verbs, there is one more another type of verb that is known as your auxiliary verb. So what are auxiliary verbs, my dear children? Sometimes we use more than one verb in a sentence. Sometimes it may be possible that sometimes 2 or 3 verbs are used in the sentence. So many times it happens and they are form of a verb. To be and they are form of a verb. Okay, we use it as a verb. They are known as your helping verb and we also call it as auxiliary verb. So many times it happens that we use more than one verb in a sentence. So that is known as your auxiliary verb. For example, some of the helping verbs are, you can see is, are, am, was, were, do, does, did, will, shall, may, might, can, could, must, ought to, should, would, used to, need, etc. These all are the different auxiliary verbs which we use. And do you know why we use these auxiliary verbs? Are used to assist the main verb in the sentence to express different time and modes, because it used to help the main verb so that in a very better way we can show the different types and different moods of a person. So these are known as your auxiliary verbs. My dear students, now let's see exercise 9.4. In this you have to fill in the blanks with is, are or am. I hope you all must have remembered where to use is, are and am. So my dear students, whenever we are talking about the singular subject, okay, that time we will use is. right? And whenever we are talking about the plural subject, then at that time we will use are, okay? And am, it is always used with I, okay? Just we will follow this in this exercise. So you can see the first statement in this, what is written, that I dash a scholar. So I have told you, my dear children, that we always use M with I के साथ हमेशा M का use होता है. So what will be the result here? I am a scholar, right? Then second one is your the players. The players, that means subject is plural. So when the subject is plural, then at that time we use are. So what will be the answer? The players are in the stadium. The players are in the stadium, right? Third one is your one of my sisters dash in New Delhi. Here don't go in sisters. Boss and sister, don't think that this is plural subject. Here it is said one of my sisters. I have many sisters, but among those sisters, only one. One sister is in New Delhi. So that means subject is singular. So we will write one of my sisters is in New Delhi. Are in New Delhi नहीं लिखेंगे, okay? Now here fourth one is your this dash a pretty dress. This we are talking about only one dress. So it will be this is a pretty dress. Is we dash doing our work. We, that means we are talking about many people. So we is plural subject. So we will write over here are. We are doing work. My dear students, now let's discuss about our new topic. So before that, I want to tell you that a sentence must have a subject and a verb. Without it, our sentence is incomplete. And you know there are some verbs that require object to complete its sense. That means although we are having the subject, although we are having the verb, but then also that sentence requires some object to complete so that it can make a meaningful sense. So depending on the type of object, verb may be transitive and intransitive verb. So on that basis only our verb is divided into two parts. Now I will tell you what are transitive verbs. So if I say that Reena cooked. So cooked is a verb, you all know, and it is showing the action also. But this is clearly an incomplete sentence as we don't know what Sheena is cooking. We don't know what Sheena cooked. What Sheena cooked, we don't know. So it is completely it is not giving the proper sense. So to make it a complete sensible sentence, we will add something to it. If I say Reena cooked the food. If I say Reena cooked the food. So in this, what you have seen that we have added an object to this sentence. Although subject was there, then verb was also there, but this sentence was incomplete. But when we have added the object to this verb, then it is giving the complete sense. Now it is giving the complete sense that Reena cooked the food. So my dear students, I just want to say that if any verb requires an object to complete its sense, then that is known as your transitive verb. My dear children, now if I say that the boy laughed. The boy laughed. So in this statement, do you think object is required or it here you can see that the boy laughed. Okay, we have got that boy laughed. So it is making a complete sense. The sun shines. The girl danced. So all these laughed, science, dance, these all are good verbs, and all these sentences are making a complete sense. They do not require any object to complete its sentences. So my dear students, I just want to say that the verb which do not require any object to complete its sense, then that is known as your intransitive verb. Okay, my dear children, transitive verbs are those which require object to complete its sense, that are known as transitive verb, and the verb which do not require any object to make it a meaningful sense, then that is known as your intransitive verbs. My dear students, now let's do one more exercise related to transitive and intransitive verbs. So what you have to do in this, first of all, you have to underline the verbs. Okay, if few sentences are given to you, you have to underline the verb, then you have to tell whether it is transitive or it is intransitive verb. So let's see the first one. He drinks the milk. So what is verb in this? Drink. So in this you can see that this verb, it requires the object. So the verb which requires the object to complete its sense, then that type of verbs are known as your transitive verb. Okay. Now see, second one, hard work always pays. Hard work always pays. So in this, what is verb in this? Pays. So in this you can see that this verb pays, it required object to complete its sense. Hard work always pays. No. This is giving out the complete sense, pura complete sense de raha hai. So this, it doesn't require any object. So this is intransitive. This is intransitive verb. Okay. Now similarly in this case, horses galloped. So in this, gallop is your verb and it is making a complete sense. So it is also intransitive verb. Fourth one is my brother wrote a story. So in this you can see this wrote is an verb, and it is wrote verb. It requires the object to complete its meaning. So we can say that it is requiring the object to complete its sense. So this is your transitive verb. So my dear students, I hope you have understood well that the verb which required the object to complete its meaning, that is known as a transitive verb, and the verb which do not require any object to complete its meaning, then that is your intransitive verb. My dear students, I hope you all must have understood subject and verb agreement, what are transitive and intransitive verbs. So please go through exercise 9.3, 9.4 and 9.5, and if there will be any queries, any confusion, then you can contact me very freely. So this much for today. Stay connected, keep learning. Thank you very much.